Hey everyone. Apologies, we had some technical difficulties, and we have restarted the stream now. So don't worry, we are back, and we are ready for the rest of these undercards. I guess whilst we wait for the next fight to come up, I might as well give my thoughts at least on the main fight, which is the Joshua Buatsi versus Ricards Bolotniks fight. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Um, I think Buatsi has quite a challenge in front of him. He's obviously got such a wonderful knockout record. So you'd imagine that he will knock Bolotniks out if you don't know Bolotniks very well. However, Bolotniks is, I think, a very tough, strong fighter. He's got 128 rounds underneath his kind of belt of experience. Hasn't lost a fight since 2018. He was the winner of the Golden Contract kind of fight. I guess like championship that they created. And he was really impressive in his fight against Sergey Michel. If you watch that fight, I think he was very impressive, and he was very good at going the distance and really breaking his opponent down. I think he's got a good chin, to be honest, and I think he's a really good distance fighter. So I would definitely not write him off at all compared to kind of Buatsi's previous opponents, I guess. So I think this is a proper challenge for Buatsi. It's going to be a very interesting fight. You may be surprised with the outcome. We will see what the fight actually shows. Yeah, look forward to it. I'll obviously give more commentary and analysis as we get closer to the fight. But there's my 2 cents initially about that main fight. But we are now approaching another undercard fight right now. So I believe this is Przemek Ranowski, who is now entering the ring. Przemek Ranowski is fighting Michael McKinson, I believe, for the WBO Global Welterweight title. So I think this will be a very good fight. They both have quite impressive records. Michael McKinson, I think, 20 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Przemek Ranowski has 19 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws. So I think they're both obviously very good fighters who, between them, only have 1 loss, which is Przemek's loss. And so I think we're in for a good fight here. We're in for a good fight. Could go either way. They both look like quite good fighters here. It doesn't look like one of those fights where one is going to completely dominate the other, but we'll see once the fight begins. We'll see. Looks like another one of those 50-50 fights, as I was mentioning earlier. This is a 50-50 fight. Thanks to myself. So they are entering the ring right now. And I'm sure the announcer is just spelling out their names and reading out their repertoire, which I've already beaten him to. Quite like this announcer. He's obviously quite well known. He's done a very good job of growing his hair out over the years. I do like his hairstyle, though I probably wouldn't adopt it for myself. Howard Foster, the referee here, very well experienced referee for this fight. Obviously, all fighting outside. Really nice location for fight camp. Obviously, the idea came about as a result of trying to deal with COVID, trying to find a solution to that. But almost now, obviously, the COVID worries kind of died down here. But still, obviously, a good idea. So they continue to have fights outside in this location, which I believe is, in terms of the location where they're fighting, I think it is Matchroom's headquarters, the garden of Matchroom's headquarters, something along those lines. It's a pretty good location, right? So fighters are just walking about, thinking about the fight that's going to happen soon, I'm sure. Pacing back and forth. Michael McKinson with the Portsmouth emblem on his short-sleeved hoodie, hailing from Portsmouth, England. And then he's obviously fighting Przemek Runowski, who I assume is from Poland. I'm sure Przemek is a Polish name, but we'll see shortly. Fighters just taking off their hoodies now. Referee letting them know, no silly business. Quite an intense steer down there, touching gloves. And we are off. All right. So round one of Ranowski and McKinson. Whoa, okay. McKinson coming out relatively aggressive there. Jab followed by a number of hooks and then pushing Ranowski back. Oh, nice left hooks there by McKinson. Ranowski yet to land, I think, at this stage. I'm sure he'll land eventually. He's got 10 rounds to do that. Fighters just feeling each other out. McKinson with a jab there, right jab. More feeling each other out right now. Fighters just keeping their stance. McKinson going in with a right. Ranowski with a left to the body. Just jabs. Nice jab through the guard of Ranowski there by McKinson. Oh, okay. Quite a strong left hook there by McKinson, which was very wild, but did enough to push Ranowski back. But probably not good enough to actually be considered a landed punch, I would imagine. Very nice, strong, stinging right jab delivered there by McKinson. He certainly looks very sharp, and it certainly looks the more aggressive of the two. He's tried to throw a number of hooks in this first round, and so far from Ranowski, I've really just seen him covering up and landing a few jabs, but I'm sure he will warm up as the fight progresses. Nice right by McKinson. Ranowski trying to jab, but McKinson making his way back out of reach. You can see McKinson intensely looking at Ranowski, almost as if he's trying to set him up or land a power punch. He's just looking at him very intently. I wouldn't say it's nervous energy by McKinson, but he certainly looks like he's got a lot of intense energy built up, and he's certainly looking to land power punches. But with a 10% knockout ratio, I wouldn't imagine that McKinson will be knocking Ranowski out in this fight, but we'll see. Round 1 ends. I would probably give that round to McKinson simply on his work rate. I think he did a good job there with the work rate. Certainly landed a number of hooks. Ranowski yet to really get off the mark. I would say he's landed a few jabs, but ultimately yet to really show for very much at this stage. And the fight is now just in their corners before walking out to the second round. And we are off for the second round right now. So McKinson coming out again very powerfully with hooks. 1-2 there by McKinson as well. Nice right, several right jabs through the guard of Ranowski. McKinson doing a really good job of coming forward, coming across as the aggressor, throwing a lot of sharp jabs, trying his best to walk Ranowski down. Another right jab by McKinson and a 1-2 to follow up with. Ranowski still maintaining a very high guard to try and block the majority of McKinson's jabs, I would imagine. And just trying his best to defend. I would say I haven't really seen Ranowski throw very much. McKinson's definitely looking like he's the one that's showing the most work rate. Another jab landed there by McKinson, and another right. Oh, Ranowski lands the jab, which is so. Oh my! And Ranowski nearly falls backwards into the ropes. Not considered a knockdown though, and that looks like it came potentially from a left, like quite a strong left jab of McKinson's. You wonder whether that's whether he actually felt that or whether he potentially just lost his footing. He doesn't really look very dazed. Assumedly, he just lost his footing and fell back a bit. It looks quite stable right now. But I was going to say before that happened, it's really saying something if Ranowski decides to land a jab, and it's a notable punch to mention, because really Ranowski has not really landed very much in these 2 rounds. I would definitely give this round to McKinson at this stage. There's about 30 seconds left of the second round. Ranowski tries to land a jab to the body of McKinson, but McKinson blocks it, moves back. McKinson landing another right jab and another right jab and a left through the guard and another. Oh, okay. I see. Perhaps Ranowski's waiting to counter, because I did see him try to counter just now when McKinson was coming forward with his jab, but it was ineffective, and round 2 has now ended. So that was, in my view, clearly, and there's just a replay that I'm looking at right now. It was so it was a left. It was quite a strong left jab down the guard of Ranowski, and he kind of pushed the jab into Ranowski's face, which caused Ranowski to fall back a bit. That's what it was. So I wouldn't really say that was necessarily like the result of the jab per se. I think it was more the push that followed the jab. In any event, I'm definitely giving this McKinson 2, Renowski 0 in terms of the rounds that I'm giving. I'd give that round to McKinson. We're just about to start the third round now. And Renowski coming forward more now compared to the previous fights. He's starting to throw a few more hooks. McKinson has quite an interesting stance, to be honest. I think he's, of course, he is a southpaw, and obviously utilizing his southpaw skills here to make it slightly awkward. Nice attempt at an uppercut there by McKinson. And a jab that just misses Renowski. I think the fighters are certainly looking a bit more active now, especially Renowski. Perhaps he's just feeling McKinson out for the first 2 rounds. Jab, right jab by McKinson. McKinson holding his arms out before trying to jab Renowski, almost as to say, just come to me. It's a bit of a taunt there. Oh, nice left hook there by McKinson, but Renowski coming forward. McKinson just giving a smile there to Renowski, as if to say, I hope you enjoyed that left hook. Certainly, I think work rate 100% goes to McKinson in this fight so far. Renowski's been relatively quiet. I think he did show some signs of more activity in this third round, but it doesn't really look like enough. And it was only until he ate a left hook by McKinson that Renowski decided to become a bit more active in this third round. Nice right jab there by McKinson. You can certainly see McKinson's focusing very hard. He's getting low. He's really focusing on where he wants to place his punches. Fighters just tying each other up right now. Referee breaking it. And we've got about 10 seconds left of this third round. And that's the third round. I'd give that to McKinson as well. So that's 3-0 up. How are you seeing this fight? For those of you who might be tuned in, of course, I know that a lot of you might be here to watch the main fight, Joshua Buatsi versus Ricards Bolotniks, but it is a slight while away. There's still a number of undercard fights still to go, but let's try our best to enjoy these undercard fights because, as I've said, they're 50-50 fights. For those of you who might be tuning in, who don't know about the channel, welcome to Quality Shot. We have interviews and we do live streams, and we cover mostly cricket, boxing, and tennis. Today, obviously, we are covering boxing right now. We'd love to hear your views on how you think this fight is currently going. If you do care about watching this McKinson-Renowski fight, what do you think of the fight? Personally, I think this is in the bag for McKinson unless something goes horribly wrong or the nature of the fight changes drastically. Maybe Renowski's saving his energy for the mid to later rounds. Who knows? We will see what happens. But I think McKinson is quite comfortably winning this fight. Fourth round has begun. McKinson, coming forward, throwing a left hook, which did rock back Renowski. You do wonder if Renowski is being hurt by these or whether he is losing his balance. Or nice right hook there by by McKinson. I think whenever Ranowski now starts trying to come forwards, he's getting caught with a lot of hooks. Another double left hook by McKinson just now. Oh, and another left hook. You have a feeling that Ranowski's potentially hurt, or at least he's feeling it. Whenever he comes forward, he's getting caught, and it's a bit weird because initially when I was watching this, I was wondering why Ranowski wasn't coming forward and trying to throw. Why he was like just trying to, trying to parry or like block McKinson's shots. But I have a feeling now that maybe he's realizing that if he does try and come forward and leave himself exposed, he's just going to eat a hook from McKinson, which is happening right now. He's coming forward, McKinson's following up with left-right hooks. But there's no other way for Ranowski to win this fight. He does need to show some work rate here. He does need to come forward. And he does need to throw punches. Because if he doesn't do that, he's going to lose on points on the scorecard quite easily. I'm sure. But he's eaten a lot of hooks, Ranowski. The majority of them to his chin rather than to his body. So you'd think that he's still okay for energy. And that he won't be getting weak. But we'll see. I'm sure if you eat a lot of shots to the jaw, it might knock your equilibrium at times. But he has to continue. Oh, nice 1-2 there by McKinson. I think the majority of them were blocked by Ranowski's high guard, but you can definitely see that McKinson's been the aggressor throughout this entire fight. Oh, nice left hook by McKinson there, which rocked Ranowski, but wasn't enough to put Ranowski on the canvas, and that ends round 4. Once again, you won't be surprised. I'm giving that to McKinson, so that's 4-0 on the scorecards of Mo. Thank you, F. Appreciate it. For those of you who are tuning in, thank you very much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Please do feel free to check out all the other videos that we have on the channel. There's a lot of boxing interviews, for example. If you're interested in boxing, do check those out. And likes and subscriptions would be much appreciated. We are trying our best to create a community of fans and sports lovers who can come together, watch live streams, comment, chat, analyze, give our thoughts. All people are welcome. And 5th of 10th round has begun. The 5th round. So yeah, as expected, some commentator on DAZN has also given it's Tony Bellew. He's also given all the rounds to McKinson on his scorecard. So yeah, good to know that me and Tony have got a similar understanding of this fight. So I suspect the 5th round will probably go to McKinson as well, but obviously there's 2 minutes to prove me otherwise. Ranowski really needs to do something here. He's kind of getting to the stage where he's got 2. Yeah, what's up, Fendi? Who's winning right now in this fight? 100% McKinson right now. We're in round 5 of 10, and McKinson has done a really, really good job of landing a lot of hooks, a lot of jabs, a few power punches that have rocked Ranowski. Ranowski's not really shown much activity, unfortunately for him and his corner. But you have a feeling he's potentially trying to do a bit of a survival game here now, because whenever he does try and come forward, he ends up eating a hook. So you do wonder, is he trying to go the? Obviously, he's trying to win the fight. Oh, well, that's not right. So I've just seen Ranowski push McKinson. It's not really that appropriate. Sure, if he does it again, the ref might have a word with him. I was saying that obviously Ranowski wants to try and win the fight, but you do wonder, the more he tries to tries chances with McKinson, the more he leaves himself exposed. And does he want to get knocked out? Probably not. So you either go the distance, and you take the loss, is what I'm thinking, or you get knocked out and take the loss, because I don't really see Ronowski winning this fight. Of course, still got 5 rounds of this 10-round fight to prove me otherwise, but it looks quite clearly the case that McKinson is very much in charge of this fight right now. He's just walking Ronowski down, landing a strong right jab through Ronowski's guard. Referee just breaking up a bit of a entanglement just then. Another nice jab by McKinson, and I feel like McKinson's done a very good job of controlling the pace of the fight. He's done a very good job of using his jab. Very good job of picking his shots, landing hooks. And whenever Ronowski's tried to make any chances of his own, he's been met with hooks from McKinson. So McKinson's come across as incredibly sharp. I didn't really expect this fight to be this one-sided, to be perfectly honest. Ronowski's got a really good record of 19 wins and just 1 loss. And I would have thought that the fight would have been slightly more 50-50. Fendi, McKinson has no power, but he's a good fighter. I think I agree with your analysis. It looks almost as if McKinson's been trying to work on his power in this fight. However, because you can see that he's trying to land quite a few power punches. He's got that menacing look on his face, the menacing look that power punchers have on their face when they're trying to pick their next power punch shot. But looking at McKinson's record, as I mentioned earlier, 10% knockout ratio is very, very low. So I think you're 100% right, Fendi. He has probably very little power in the division. Bearing in mind is the welterweight title, and there's a lot of power punches in the welterweight division. So obviously, it's not the only way to win fights. Floyd Money May, he did an incredibly good job of boxing his way to glory in many of his welterweight fights back in the days. So it's not a prerequisite in order to be a champion, but he could potentially maybe work more on his power punches, I guess. But he's done an excellent job so far in my view of dominating this fight, and it's almost unnecessary by this point of the fight. Currently, by the way, in round 6. For McKinson to try anything that risky, because he's dominated this fight. I've given him 5 rounds to Ronowski 0, and just now he's doing a good job of establishing the jab, taking his time, not being afraid to land hooks if he needs to, though. So he does have that menacing aspect of his fight game about him, no doubt. It's just potentially he's not carrying the right type of power. I mean, you'd think that if someone with a bit more power landed the types of shots that McKinson had landed, I'd assume Ronowski would be a bit more hurt. He has been rocked a few times, Ronowski, but he's certainly not down on the canvas yet. But McKinson has 4 rounds to do so. And if he does manage to score a knockout, I think it would be a good sign that he is actually working a bit more on his power, in case people have been questioning his power abilities. Ronowski there just maintaining his high guard and getting backed up by McKinson right now. You do wonder what Ronowski can do at this stage of the fight. I mean, oh, nice short left hook by Ronowski there, though, but McKinson did take it. Well, both of the fighters trading hooks right now. Fendi saying that McKinson knocked out Congo. So oh yeah, referring to Chris Congo. Oh yeah, it must have knocked him down. I think it was in the first round when he knocked him down. But then went on to win by unanimous decision on points, which is quite classic of him, isn't he? To win on points. So I mean, he does carry some power, but he hasn't really won many by knockout. F says, like McKinson, slick fighter, and was impressed with him versus Congo in his last fight. He won as an underdog. Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, McKinson, in my view, has done very well in this fight. He's dominated the fight. I mean, it's not. He's dominated the fight from a boxing perspective. He's obviously not. He hasn't knocked Ranatsky down, but he doesn't have to. You know, at the end of the day, you come in to win. He's doing an excellent job of winning, and he's going to win this fight if nothing changes. So yeah, it looks like McKinson's doing really well. And let's not forget, he's got 0 losses, 0 draws. So he's currently on a 20 win streak. After this fight, if he wins, it'll be 21 wins. So that's a really good record. Be interesting to see him challenge better level fighters as he goes up. But let's not talk too soon as round 7 of 10 begins, because the fight could go another way. It ain't over until the final bell has been gonged for the final round. So anything can happen in boxing. But so far, McKinson doing a good job of just maintaining the pace, coming forward, landing the jabs, and being fully in control of this fight so far, in my personal view. Hey Sean, how you doing? Your TV isn't connected to Wi-Fi, so can't watch it. Sorry to hear, bud. That sucks. I'm currently looking at the fight through DAZN on my computer right now. So DAZN.com is where the fight's being shown. So that's what I'm doing, and I think my computer screen's big enough. I can deal with it, I guess. It's the ups and downs of stream life. 1 minute 30 left of this 7th round. McKinson again just landing some nice jabs there. 1-2 that missed, thrown by McKinson. Fendi McKinson should be in a title eliminator or fight for a title. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Yeah, should get him into one of those. And F also agrees, says get him in line for the European, although is he ready to fight someone like Avan Sian? Fendi says maybe, but it would be a test. Yeah, for sure. I think McKinson needs a like a bigger test than Ranatsky right now, because he's obviously he's done very well. I mean, I'm not firing shots at McKinson. He's like I say, he's dominated this fight, but he needs more tests as he continues to win, which is a natural progression for a boxer. Of course, if you continue to win, you just get harder opponents put in front of you. So totally put someone more tough in front of McKinson, because fortunately Ranatsky is not doing the job of coming across as a real challenge to McKinson in this fight right now. And that's coming from someone who's got 19 wins like Ranatsky, you know. So he's not a bum. You know, he has been in the ring with a lot of people, and he's had experience winning fights. So, so that 7th round is finished, and again, I'd give that round to McKinson. So I've got McKinson winning every round. I don't know if you guys also have McKinson winning every round, but let me know. because he's dominating this fight as far as I'm concerned. We got Harris mentioned some football chat in the boxing stream. Yeah, fair dues. Fair dues, mate. I'm a Liverpool fan, so is what it is. Yeah, no worries, Harris. Like, so this is undercard between McKinson and Ranowski right now. Michael McKinson and Przemek Ranowski. Currently in the 8th round of 10. They're fighting for the WBO global welterweight title, I believe, and they're both obviously welterweights, fighting for this welterweight title. And McKinson's got 20 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, so it's like a really good record there. Przemek has 19 wins, 1 loss, no draws. So they're both quite good fighters. And I was mentioning at the beginning of this fight that I was expecting a kind of half-half type of fight. But it turns out that McKinson's absolutely dominated this fight right now. So fair play to him, to be fair. He's always backed Przemek Ranowski onto the ropes in many cases, thrown a lot of good hooks, established his jab very well, and just landed most of the eye-catching punches, whereas Ranowski, to be fair, hasn't landed very much, and I think he's found it very difficult to try and get closer to McKinson and land some of his stronger shots. So he's tried to box, and looks like McKinson's been the better boxer. Hey Mahdi, I think this is something that we are looking to incorporate potentially in future streams. We'll have to chat with the big honcho who runs the actual channel, Fazan, and we're going to have a chat offline about this, so that hopefully we can have further kind of integration with you folks. But for now, do let me know your thoughts in the chat, and we can chat through this way for now. But thank you, and yeah, we'll definitely let you know. Who have I got for Cordina versus Hernandez? Well, I'd probably give it to Cordina, but we'll see how that fight goes. What do you think? They're both got pretty good knockout ratios, don't they? And they're both relatively young, and they got like 12 and 10 wins each. So it could go either way, but I'd probably give it to Cordina simply because he hasn't had any. He hasn't had any losses, has he? So I think Hernandez has had quite a few, like two or three, something like that. So you'd assume that Cordina, but we'll see how that fight goes. Harris says, I'm annoyed at Pacquiao fight. So am I. I was looking forward to that one. At least we'll still see him fight someone, right? And we will be here for the Pacquiao fight. So do tune in for that one. We will be streaming that as well, letting you know, giving you live commentary, reactions, etc. I'm sure Pacquiao will beat this guy that's replaced his initial opponent. So, and Fendi, you think Cordina as well? Okay, fair. Yeah, I think so. So we'll see how that fight goes, but I assume that's going to be the outcome. So we're just entering into the 9th round of 10 on my completely unprofessional and completely amateur scorecard. I've got McKinson winning every single round so far, and I think it's going to be a complete domination. But we've got 2 rounds left. Let's see this one out. So McKinson again, just jabbing away, pecking at Ranowski. And Ranowski again just trying to maintain a high guard and trying to find an opening, trying to come forward, and then missing as he just did now. He's had real not much luck connecting, Ranowski, unfortunately. He must be frustrated by this point of the fight. McKinson looks very calm. He doesn't even look that sweaty, to be honest. I mean, doesn't look like he's been working his absolute socks off for this fight. I have a feeling he probably hasn't gone the entire full gears even, and he doesn't have to because he's winning this fight, and he might as well just continue controlling the fight, maintaining the pace. Nice left hook there by McKinson. Ranowski looks very tired and frustrated, to be perfectly honest. He's done an okay job of trying to get out of the way of McKinson's jabs at times, but that's obviously not going to be enough to win any rounds. He hasn't really shown much work rate, and where he's tried to connect, he's missed. And McKinson's done a very good job of keeping the distance. But as some of you have noted, McKinson hasn't really been that good at showing his power. He hasn't really necessarily been able to carry his power through. We haven't seen any knockdowns or anything of the sort, but maybe that's just classic McKinson fight plan. You know, he's not expected, I guess, to knock Ranowski out. He's only got a 10% knockout ratio, and that's going to decrease if after he wins this fight, I imagine, to 9 or 8%. Ninth round has ended very much of the same in terms of the previous rounds. You know, McKinson landing, Ranowski trying to connect, Ranowski not being able to connect, becoming very frustrated, and that's it really. I mean, honestly, I'd give it 9-0. All 9 rounds, I'd give that to McKinson in this fight. So a bit of a whitewash in terms of this fight. That's okay though. It doesn't mean that it's not exciting. You know, at the end of the day, these boxers are trying their best to win, I'm sure. And maybe just to show of how good McKinson is in this fight. Fenny saying that the team, assume referring to the Ranowski team, need to throw the towel in. Yeah, I mean they might as well, but I have a feeling they're just gonna accept the points loss, the scorecard loss, and go home. Better to lose on the scorecards than to have your corner throw in the towel. And it looks like there's no real threat to Ranowski's life in this final 10th round. Much of the okay, nice left hook landed by Ranowski there. I think Ranowski's going hell for leather potentially. He knows he's lost on points. I'm sure he knows he's lost on points. I'm sure his corner's told him, listen, you need to go for the knockout. And that looks like what Ranowski is looking to do. Maybe he was saving a lot of his energy for this part of the fight. I think it's a little too late. Don't expect Ranowski to land a knockout. If he does, it will be a complete shocker. But with less than 2 minutes to go of this final round, and given how level-headed McKinson has been and his ability to maintain the jab and to be completely focused and alert throughout much of this fight, it looks very unlikely that Ranowski is going to be able to land a death-defying blow and to knock McKinson out. Highly unlikely. As this fight nears to the end, we are obviously approaching further undercards before we move on to the main fight, which obviously is Joshua Buatsi and Ricards Bolotniks. I assume there's another hour or so till we get to that fight. Maybe an hour and a half. We'll see. But for now, welcome. You're welcome to the stream as we travel through these undercard fights. Fendi has inside information here suggesting that the co-main fight is actually next, so that's good. Good to know. So we might be inching even further to the main fight, in fact, than originally anticipated. But there's still at least, I would assume, an hour, half an hour to an hour, well, more than that, I'd imagine, before we get to the main fight. But let's enjoy these undercards. So half a minute now of the final 10th round. It's been interesting to see these fighters. It's been interesting to see more of McKinson as well. Look forward to seeing him in future fights and seeing how he deals with future challenges like those that some of you in the stream have mentioned. It will be interesting to see how that goes. 10 seconds left of this final round. McKinson just needs to hold on. Decides to lift his arms in the last 4 or 5 seconds, which, to be honest, is unneeded. You could just do it after the fight. And the fight ends, and McKinson knows he's won, and Ronansky slumps over the ropes of the ring. He looks incredibly distraught, frustrated, shattered. He knows he's lost. Everyone knows he's lost. Everyone knows that McKinson has won this fight. But we'll wait and see. Thank you, F. We'll wait and see for the scorecards. I mean, there's no way in hell that imagine. No, I don't think any of the any Canelo judges are present in this fight, Fendi. So I'd suspect that we're going to see a nice, neat, clear, just judges decision. So yeah, I suspect it's going to be McKinson clearly winning this on points. But I will tune in to DAZN, turn my sound up, and let you know. I know he's done very well. Now, obviously, there's a number of other welterweights in the division that he's fighting in. So he's got a lot of other challenges ahead of him, McKinson. But he's he's done well. He's been a very good boxer. It's probably going to be a shutout of 10 rounds to 0, but we'll see. Thank you, F, for the kind reminder. Remember to like the video, peeps, and subscribe to the channel. Your subscription and your likiction is much appreciated. Oh, some stats here. 133 landed by McKinson, 594 thrown by McKinson to 369 by Ronansky. 73 landed by Ronansky to 133 by McKinson. So yeah, I mean, looks quite clear that McKinson showed the most work rate in this fight. Hello, Bogdan. How are you? So unfortunately, due to classic copyright and legal reasons, we're not able to actually show you the fight, but we'll try our best to commentate. And I'm just going to let you guys know 99 to 91, 98 to 92. Okay, unanimous decision for, drum roll, Mikey the Problem McKinson. All right, so there you have it, folks. McKinson versus Ronansky, a unanimous decision victory for Michael McKinson. Hey Bogdan. Did they already start? So the main fight hasn't started yet. We're currently going through the various kind of undercard fights before we get to the main fight. And what we've just finished right now was McKinson versus Ranowski. And then if you had been tuning in from earlier, then you would have known. But if not, I will tell you, Hopi Price beat Claudio Grande, which was the fight previous to this one. So yeah, we're still going through a number of undercard fights, basically. And yeah, we're not at the point of getting to the main fight yet. But once the main fight does happen, you will be sure to know it on this stream. The fight is being shown through DAZN for all of you who want to know. So I think in the UK it's something like $2.99 or $1.99 a month for a DAZN subscription, and you can unsubscribe at any time, subject to the terms and conditions. So you can play it smart if you want to. I mean, paying 2-3 quid for a fight to watch like a whole day, a whole night's, whole evening, sorry, of fighting is not half bad, to be honest, compared to the types of prices that pay-per-view can be. So I think DAZN is doing a decent job. I'm sure they'll hike up their prices one day, but you know, better to get in early. Although I don't work for DAZN, so do as you wish. But that is that. You can find the fight on DAZN if you want to approach it the legal way, which I'm doing today. So as we said, McKinson wins by unanimous decision versus, and then I'm gonna add Przemek Ranowski. I'm gonna scroll this across. Alrighty. Thanks for the answer, man. I'm waiting for the fight of Bolotniks. Unfortunately, I cannot watch it. Sorry, bro. Sorry to hear. Oh, okay. Okay, sweet. Well, Bolotniks, as I was mentioning earlier, I think he's a really good fighter. I think he's really going to test Buatsi in this fight. So, and he was very respectful in my view. Bolotniks has been very respectful in this fight and lead up to this fight. I think he's generally speaking a very respectful fighter. There was the incident at the weigh-in yesterday where Bolotniks was looking to, looking to spud. Spud Boatsi. Trying to think of the proper proper name for spudding, because that might not mean anything to you. But I guess it's like a fist bump. That's it. He was going to fist bump. You might watch it. He was going to fist bump Boatsi, and Boatsi didn't fist bump him back, which obviously it's not the same as getting glassed and someone throwing something at you or throwing a chair at you. So it's not that disrespectful, to be fair. But why not be sportsman? Like if you can, he just wants to fist bump you, man. So yeah, that I didn't really like by Buatsi, but at the end of the day, it's a fight game. You can do what you want. We're not expecting people to be complete gentlemen, and not deciding to fist bump someone is not the worst thing you can do. So who really cares? But Bolotniks comes across as a very respectful guy in my view, and no, I do wish him the best. But as a Brit and as a Croydonian, which is where Buatsi is from in the UK, I'm back in Buatsi on this one. But I hope it will be an interesting fight, a competitive fight, and I'm looking forward to it. And I do think Bolotniks is the hardest test for Buatsi. That's my personal view that he's had yet. And he is on a long win streak, Bolotniks. I think his last loss was in 2018, so he's doing well, mate. Sure, man, he will force to move Joshua to deep waters, but Who knows? Will he manage or not? Very interesting fight. Both hungry. We'll see. Yeah, totally. And yeah, for these two, it's a very interesting fight. I think Bolotniks, yeah, he's done a very good job of wearing down his opponents in previous fights, taking them to the distance, and he's got so many more rounds compared to Buatsi under his belt. He's got 128 rounds of professional boxing, whereas Buatsi's just got 54. Now I know Buatsi's stylized as a killer in the ring with a 85% knockout ratio, which is incredibly high. But Bolotniks has done a very good job of not getting knocked out as of recent fights and going the distance. And he's certainly a fighter that can take punishment and go the distance. And I was really impressed by him when he fought Sergey Michel. He did really well in that fight. And that was obviously for the golden contract, which is a really interesting concept, by the way. The golden contract. I'm sure it's been done before in boxing, but for those of you who don't know what the golden contract is, according to Wikipedia, it's so it's a tournament that was created by MTK Global, which is obviously one of the promotion companies, quite well-known promotion company, and the winners of each of the tournaments, they ended up securing a 2-year 5-fight contract with MTK Global that guarantees a 6-figure purse for every single fight. And Bolotniks won in his category, which was light heavyweight category. And his final fight, which is the final fight against Sergey Michel, was a really good fight. He did a really good job of breaking down Sergey Michel and finished the fight with a TKO in the final round of that fight. So I think Bolotniks is not to be messed around with if you don't know him very much. So yeah, he's definitely a hard cookie, and it's going to be interesting to see Buatsi fight someone with a lot of experience, because I don't think he's going to be able to come in and come swinging wildly and look for the knockout very easily, because I don't think Bolotniks is going to take that. Yeah, totally, man. Yeah. So Bogdan says in relation to this main fight, can't be compared. Bolotniks can be explosive in the last rounds, and it's interesting for sure. Yeah, totally. I think Bolotniks is going to try and take Buatsi down into the deeper waters of this fight. Going to take him to the longer, take him to the later rounds, and then dig in. And I don't think. Well, obviously, we'll see what happens in the fight, but I don't think Bolotniks will get knocked out. But if he does get knocked out, I think it will be a true testament of how good Buatsi is. This is a proper fight for Buatsi so we can really see how good he is. So it's a real test for him. So there's currently just a little interlude on DAZN right now before they move on to the next fight. But for those of you who've joined, welcome to Quality Shot, where we are trying our best to commentate the fights as they come. The main fight, of course, is Buatsi versus Bolotniks, which has not happened yet, and we're still yet to get off with that fight. There's a few other fights before we move on to that one, but we've been trying our best to go through these kind of undercard fights as they come through. The fight is being streamed on DAZN. For those of you who are interested, you can make an account on DAZN. I think you would have to potentially pay for a subscription. I think the subscription in the UK is something like £2 or £3, but you can cancel at any time. So think about what you can do after you finish watching this fight on DAZN. If you don't want to watch anything else for the month or next month or the month afterwards, then you might as well cancel your subscription. But see what else they have on offer. We're not working for DAZN, so I have no interest in whether you use DAZN or not. But that's the legal way to watch this fight. So Bogdan is asking about, well, thinking about whether Bolotniks is going to be able to take Joshua Buatsi into deep water. We certainly will see. That is a big question here when we do get to the main fight. And it's good to have a variety of different opinions. So it's good that we have Bogdan here in the chat supporting Bolotniks. That's good. Everyone's welcome into this chat. Yeah, I know he's from Latvia. Do you guys have any other boxers in Latvia that are quite well known? I personally don't. I don't know of any, but I'm sure there's other boxers in Latvia that are quite well known. Or is Bolotniks like the guy in Latvia for people who love boxing? Is he like their main dude? I guess there's others like I think Myris Breedis is Latvian as well. So maybe there's more than just Bolotniks, but I assume those two are probably the most well known. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Myris Breedis. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, they have the same trainer. I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So now, for those of you who are unaware, currently the next fight that is showing on my screen as Hernandez walks into the ring is Joe Cordina versus Joshua Hernandez, which is a super featherweight fight. So for those of you who want to know some of the stats, Joe Cordina has 12 wins, 7 by knockout, 0 losses, 0 draws. 58% knockout ratio, because obviously seven KOs out of 12 wins. It's 29, so he's still obviously young. 5'9". Joshua Hernandez is also 5'9". He's 25, slightly younger. 10 wins, 8 by knockout, 3 losses. One of the losses was a knockout, 0 draws. So on paper, Cordina has got the better record. He's got 12 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, and Hernandez has got the worser or the least best record of 10 wins and 3 losses. However, they both have a decent knockout ratio. So 58% knockout ratio is possessed by Cordina, and a 61% knockout ratio possessed by Hernandez. So that's pretty interesting in terms of the knockout ratios. So will we see a knockout today? Maybe we will. Given that the likelihood is that there's more than 50% chance of a knockout, then potentially we might see a knockout today. Thank you, Bogdan, my friend. I really appreciate it. And no, yeah, very good to know you as well. And thank you very much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. We're trying our best to create a wonderful community of different people from all across the world who are just interested in sports and chatting and having a good time and kicking back. And no, it's good to have people in the chat talking, and I like interacting with people in the chat and seeing where you guys are from and what you're thinking of the fights and stuff. I'm just your average interested viewer of sports. I like boxing quite a lot, and no, yeah, it's just a fun thing to do. And we're trying our best to bring the best content that we can to you guys, because if you see through our videos, we've got various interviews up. For example, we're trying our best to have interviews with fighters that you want to see us interview. And yeah, it's just it's been a great journey so far. And yeah, thanks especially goes to Fazan, who's the one that runs the channel. And we're trying our best to assist at times like this. And what's happening right now is Hernandez and Cordina are in the ring and getting ready to fight. And we got the wonderful announcer with his long braids, letting everybody know who the fighters are. He's definitely become iconic with those with his long hair, which he's certainly grown out over time. David Diamante is his name. It's amazing how much announcers make. If you remember Buffer, of course, who stylized "Let's get ready to rumble." I think he made millions from that, like genuinely millions. He according to Wikipedia, he earned Michael Buffer earned $400 million by licensing the trademark of "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." So I don't know if I can say "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" on the channel because Michael might sue me or something. But sorry guys, I might have to step away before we start this fight, but I will be back shortly. Hey guys, sorry. I had a little issue I had to deal with. I'm back now, and whilst I was away, classically, within within like 2 minutes, Cordina absolutely knocked Hernandez TF out with an absolutely blistering right hook in round one, which is why the banner's been updated. Um, I did say that we were expecting potentially a knockout in this fight, given that both fighters have a 50% plus knockout ratio, but I was not expecting this level of knockout and this soon. So yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous, and just like that, we move on to the next fight. So wow, Cordina's got some absolute mad power behind his punches, and he's never lost a fight. So it'll be very interesting to see him continue in his boxing journey. Maybe he'll move up at some point. He's super featherweight and he's 5'9", so I'd imagine he could move up, couldn't he? So yeah, apologies. I had to deal with something at the time, but I was trying my best to do a little text update, which is here. I was like, "Hi everyone, I'll be back shortly." I was like, "Oh my god, fight has already ended." A ridiculous knockout by Cordina in round one with a blistering right hook. So there was a text update, but I'm back. That was a really mad fight. I guess I was right in my prediction, and so was um, so was Fendi, who said Cordina earlier. So well done, Fendi. And then I believe Bogdan, apologies, when I was away, you asked me something, which is what's your personal view on the main fight. So my view is that I have a bit of a soft spot for Buatsi, only because he comes from the same place that I live in in the UK. So I'm biased in that respect, because I actually have a fighter from my actual hometown, which is nice. But also, he's a Brit and he's won all of his fights and he's got an 85% knockout ratio. So you would think that he's going to win this fight. But I don't think Bolotniks is someone that you can mess around with and just knock out willy nilly. He's not that type of fighter that would just take it. So I think Bolotniks will take him down into the late rounds, and then we'll see what happens. It'll be an interesting one. Sorry by the way, guys. I need to step away again.
Hey everyone, sorry. The joys of live streaming is not it's not easy sometimes when there's when you're not obviously at home alone. It's people coming in and out, and it's classically life, isn't it? So nothing was missed though this time when I stepped away. No one got knocked out in the first round. I think they're just having an extended interview right now with fighters on DAZN. Because they probably didn't realize that this would have been a one-round knockout, and the next round of fighters aren't ready yet for this for this fight that's coming up next. So they're probably doing as much as they can to just fill in the space, which is what I might as well do as well. So yeah, main fight. That's my view. Bogdan, what do you think? By the way, do you think if you had to bet on it, would you say Bolotniks is gonna win this fight, or would you say that Buatsi's gonna win this fight? If I had to bet, although I respect Bolotniks as a fighter, I would probably think Buatsi. sorry, Bogdan. I think if I was to do that, we would probably get. Don't know what we would get. We might get a strike, or we might get the whole channel banned. So you know what, I would if I could. And if you were here sitting with me, I'd definitely let you watch it with me. We would watch it together. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't because of those reasons. Plus, the head honcho who runs the channel would go absolutely berserk if I got the channel banned on the third live stream that I've done. So yeah, unfortunately not. But it is on DAZN, and if I will not suggest any illegal means of watching the fight on a live stream where all of my actions and statements are recorded. But I am aware that there are such places where you can conduct such illegal activities, and I strongly suggest you do not do any illegal viewings, and you do not go on any illegal live streams to watch this fight, no matter how frequently available they are on the internet. If you type it out into Google. But yeah, this fight is on DAZN, and I paid £3 to watch it. And I'm hoping that the service that you're receiving through this commentary live stream is worth at least 3 pence. So Bogdan's giving his view on this fight. What do I think? I think it would be difficult for Richard. I know the game plan. I understand what he did. Honestly, depends only on Richard and on his ability to take hard punches. How it would be. Yeah, he needs to get past the initial barrage of Joshua Buatsi bombs before he can take this man into deep waters and show him what an experienced fighter really is. So I agree. It's about figuring out how he will be in terms of his chin strength. Will he be able to take these punches? Who knows? We'll be finding out tonight. You'd hope so. I mean, he's got so many rounds under his belt. I know he's lost by KO before. I think he's had 3 losses by KO out of his 5. So he is someone that can be knocked out. And if he can be knocked out, then Buatsi is a bit of a knockout artist right now. So I'm sure he can punch harder than the guys that Bolotniks has been knocked out by. But bearing in mind, those knockouts were a long time ago. It's been several years since Bolotniks has been even delta loss. So we'll see. F says, "Come on, Buatsi, he's from your ends." Yes, he is from my ends. He is from Croydon, which is where yours truly is also from, and where some of us on this channel are actually from. And so there is that appeal to back your hometown boy. So yeah, like I said, there is a bit of bias there. But if he does win, I had nothing to do with it. I may be from his ends, but I didn't do anything. I wasn't in the gym with him. I wasn't helping him with his sparring. I didn't have the mitts in my hands. I wasn't telling him to give me the 1-2. So if he wins, I guess I can claim it, but I probably didn't do anything to deserve any of that. Yeah. I agree, Bogdan. He needs to. Yeah. He needs to do a very He needs to put up. Bolotniks has to put up the best performance of his career. And I think he's geared for that. I mean, he did mention in the lead up to the fight that he's talking about street fight and he's excited for a street fight. I think he's kind of, I don't think he really means that, because I don't think he's going to go for a street fight. Maybe I think his real strategy is to kind of allow the rounds to continue and wear him out, and and then hit heavy at kind of mid to late parts of the fight. And maybe the street fight concept that he was trying to push during the last interviews was just to try and get at Buatsi and make him think that he's going to come in hard. But we'll see. We'll see if he actually does that. I don't think he'll do that. I don't think it makes sense for him to go blow for blow. But we'll see. To be fair, Buatsi looks pretty strong. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, to a novice who maybe doesn't know who, but to a novice who doesn't know who Bolotniks is, they might think, oh, he's gonna knock out Bolotniks. I mean, who is this guy? But no, Bolotniks is an experienced fighter, so he's not going to be walked over. I don't think so. I'd be very surprised if this is a completely one-sided fight. And if it is a one-sided fight and Buatsi absolutely dominates, then it's a show of how good Buatsi is as a fighter. Marlon says, I do not know how Ricards will manage. Big question. Yeah, me neither. It'll be interesting to see. Hey, baby. Show fight. I'm very, very sorry, my friend. I'm not permitted to show the fight due to legal and copyright reasons. I might have a double check again, like for future streams. I might double check whether we actually can show fights, but I'm almost certain we're not allowed to, and that it is illegal for us to do so, unfortunately. So if that is the case, then I apologize, baby. It is something that we cannot do. So yeah, apologies for that. We'll definitely I definitely recommend that you either watch the fight on DAZN for like £2 or £3, which hopefully isn't very, very much, or you seek other avenues, which I'm not recommending you to do. But a little birdie told me there's a significant number of avenues that you can use to watch this fight. It's really not difficult to find those avenues. But I would not recommend it, because you'd be conducting illegal activities. I cannot condone illegal activities, unfortunately, especially not when I'm on a live stream. F says you can't, the stream, I think he means you can't stream and the channel will get taken down, unfortunately. And says you guys can listen to Mo to give you quality blow-by-blow comms. Yeah, it's not quality blow-by-blow comms, but it's it's the equivalent of watching something that was recorded by a potato. I mean, at least you get to see something. So I'll try my best to paint a picture for you. If you close your eyes, hopefully you can see the fight. But I obviously am not going to be as good as actually watching the fight. But I will try my best to paint a picture of what the heck is going on. And you guys can just have a chat amongst yourselves and with me while the fight's going on. And then you can obviously see the highlights afterwards when they upload it. But yeah. Yeah, I agree, Bogdan. I think Bolotniks was just kind of saying that for the media. He's not looking to go blow for blow. Street fight is just an advertisement, but it definitely will not be like that. Ricards waiting and watching will be nothing in the first round. Everything should have to be after round 7. Yeah. If it's one of those fights where the longer the fight goes, the better it looks for Bolotniks. This is one of those classic fights. It's one of those classic fights where you've got your power puncher and you've got your slugger, and as the fight progresses, the kind of the slugger that will take you into deep waters will get more and more dangerous to your power puncher, who over time will probably start losing his energies, exhausting a lot of his energies trying to throw power punches. So, I mean, Buatsi's going to have to box. He's going to have to box. I mean, I assume his team smart enough to tell him, listen, you can't just go around throwing power punches, son, because that ain't going to work in this fight. You're going to have to try and increase your endurance and box him a bit. So hopefully that's what they'll be telling Buatsi if they actually want him to win. A potato what? If I was saying that people watching me commentate is the equivalent of people watching a video that was filmed with a potato, because you're not going to get, even though it is called quality shot, you're not going to get a quality image of the fight by listening to me. You're just going to get my understanding of what I'm seeing. So that's what I mean by potato, mate. Do not lose the first part of the fight. Yeah, I agree. That's the Bolotnik strategy. Well, yeah. Task and idea is not to lose the first part of the fight. Yeah. In terms of the strategy that you're referring to, totally agree. F, like the vid peeps, and sub. Yes, thanks for reminding me, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into this live stream. We do appreciate you liking and hitting subscribe if you can, as you join us in this wonderful journey this evening, UK time, of this Bolotniks Buatsi fight and the undercards as part of this Fight Camp series. I believe this is Fight Camp number 3. Fight Camp number 2 or 3. It might be number 2 actually. But I believe it's part of the Fight Camp series regardless, and it's I mean, it's a great idea. I have a feeling it's Fight Camp 3. What's weird is that some websites suggest it's Fight Camp number 2 if you actually search it online. But I mean, obviously it doesn't matter, does it? What Fight Camp number it is, but anyway, it's a Fight Camp fight. Hey Bogdan. Sorry, I was only talking about Bolotniks, but I know them and I know what they plan to do, but I do not have any idea what Joshua has prepared. For sure they did, but I do not know. Yeah, no worries, man. It's good to hear your views on Bolotniks. And you said that you mentioned you know his corner. How are they feeling for this fight? Are they feeling confident about this? Like, what have you heard? If you could kindly let us know if there is anything that you want to share about what's been going through their minds in anticipation for this fight. Do let us know. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be an interesting fight. Looking forward to it. Definitely. And then we've got loads of good boxing fights coming up in the future as well. So we're going to also try and do maybe some videos of us like physically together as a team while we're watching a few things as well. I know that the channel's done that for a few of the other sports before. I believe it was done for like tennis, for example, in regards to the tennis videos. So we're going to try and do a few kind of boxing get-togethers as well. And we'll see how that goes, which is nice to do, and we'll see if we can get a stream running. No, yeah, totally understand, Bogdan. But yeah, that's totally understandable. What do you think of his trainer? He's obviously got loads of experience, doesn't he? Especially when it comes to trying to bring the best out of Latvia's best boxers, for example, isn't it? So no, it's good to have people like that in countries with knowledge who are able to help their local domestic fighters. I mean, you know, fighters are what they are because of a number of things: their corners, their abilities, their work ethic, their genetics, and also, of course, their trainers. The trainers are very important as well. So there's lots of stories, of course, about people having a great relationship with their trainer and people falling out with their trainers and all that kind of stuff. So these things happen in boxing, and they're so important. You know, they're like a manager to a football team, of course. So they're very valuable. Sometimes you wonder whether they get enough credit as well, the trainers. We'll have to see. But I mean, there are awards and stuff for trainers, aren't they? So. One of my favorite trainers is Robert Garcia. He's a pretty good trainer in my view. I really liked him, especially a few years ago. He trained a lot of great fighters. Alrighty, David Diamante is back in the middle of the ring. And Bogdan, the trainer is the best in Latvia at the moment. I'm doing that because it's not such a big channel. That's what Deep Voices the plan, yeah. F asks whether you could get Bolotniks or maybe even Bolotniks trainer onto the channel, Bogdan. If you could, that'd be super interesting and much appreciated. We'd love to interview like someone from his team after the fight, regardless of the outcome. We're keen on getting interviews in with people in the boxing scene. We've obviously got quite a long list of folks that we've interviewed so far. But I mean, do let us know if you could put us in touch with anyone that we could interview. And for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome to Quality Shot. We're going to try our best to commentate this fight. The main fight is here, by the way. So I'm going to change the banner to say Joshua Buatsi versus Richards. I know people say Richards, and some people say Ricards, and some people say Ricard. I don't know what the proper pronunciation is because there's been all those pronunciations, all the fights that I've watched. Some people say Richard. I'm not sure what the proper pronunciation is because it's obviously it's a Latvian. It's a Latvian name, so it's probably pronounced a certain way in Latvia. But I'm sure it's Bolotniks for the surname. I'm just going to add a little banner, change the banner up to say Joshua Buatsi versus Ricards Bolotniks currently underway because the main fight is here with us. Okay, so it's actually Richard. Okay, thank you. Very, very useful. Sounds good. Love the man in the banner. Thank you very much. We've obviously changed it now to Joshua Buatsi versus Richard Bolotniks, currently underway. F saying Ricards Bolotniks, but I'm gonna back Bogdan on this. It's Richard Bolotniks or Rich Bolotniks versus Joshua Buatsi. I'm sure Buatsi is a Ghanaian origin name, perhaps. I know that Buatsi sometimes puts the Ghanaian flag on his shorts and things like that. He's I think he's listed on certain websites as a Ghanaian fighter, and then on others he's listed as a British fighter. So obviously he's affiliated with both those countries. So yes, interesting fight ahead of us, everybody. Richard Bolotniks and Joshua Buatsi about to begin in about, I would say, a minute now. They're both in the ring. We've got our main man with the dreadlocks letting everybody know who they are, who the referee is. Howard Foster, very well-known referee. F there, letting us know that Buatsi was a Ghanaian Olympic bronze medalist, and then fought for GB in the Olympics, so a bit of both. Bogdan now realizing that Buatsi's got an Olympic background, but he's still going to back his boy, Bolotniks, which I respect. So it's going to be a very interesting fight, and we are just seconds away now. And I will try my very best, Bogdan, to commentate every round, so that we know what's going on. They are fighting the eliminator for the WBA lightweight heavyweight championship of the world. So it's a big deal here. Both top 5 with the WBA, I believe. It's a big fight for them. It'll take them to places they've never been before, whoever wins this fight. It's a big light heavyweight fight. Letting everybody know that the big players in this division, if they win this. So Buatsi's toughest opponent in my view. They both look in good shape. So Buatsi looking focused. Fight is still yet to start. Buatsi just looking at the floor right now. I think he's doing a little prayer, potentially looking into the sky. It must be that his name is getting announced. That's why he's doing that. Yes, because his name's being announced. Both of the men now getting into the center of the ring. Our ref letting them know, protect yourself at all times, blah, blah, blah. Classic stuff. Oh, he said touch gloves, and they both walked away, and the referee held both their hands, and they ended up touching gloves in the end. We got Buatsi going into the corner of the ring, kneeling down and praying to God. And we got F asking the prediction. My prediction is, if I have to say it, mid-round knockout by Buatsi, but I've enjoyed talking to Bogdan so much that I'd like to also say late round knockout by Bolotniks. Okay, so fight has started. The fighters are just currently checking each other out. Buatsi landing a jab there. They're just again checking each other out. Buatsi landing a jab and missing. Buatsi throwing a hook there, missing. They're just Bolotniks just kind of jumping up and down, finding his feet. Buatsi throwing a few hooks there, just hitting the gloves of Bolotniks, nothing happening. So Buatsi, you could tell he's vicious. He's trying to look for something, but not landing on Bolotniks. Bolotniks landing a nice left hook to Buatsi's body. Buatsi just trying to find his range, it seems, throwing a jab into the air. Buatsi throwing a jab, and Bolotniks falling back, not getting hit by it. Another jab thrown by Buatsi and hasn't connected with Bolotniks, just hitting his glove. Bolotniks doing a good job of keeping the distance there. Oh, nice right hook by Bolotniks. That lands on Buatsi's face. It was a good punch by Bolotniks, to be fair. And Bolotniks just circling Buatsi right now. Buatsi isn't really stalking him per se. It's more that Buatsi's staying in the middle of the ring and Bolotniks is kind of circling around him. Nice kind of jab by Bolotniks, but I think it was blocked by Buatsi's right glove. Ooh, vicious right hook by Bolotniks that connects to Buatsi again. He's actually finding some success, Bolotniks, with the hooks. Buatsi coming back with a hook on his own from the left. Who's moving better? Asks F. You know what? At this stage, I feel like Bolotniks is moving better. I think Buatsi's still trying to find his range, perhaps. A lot of jabs being thrown by Buatsi, and they're not landing, but I think he's just doing some range finding right now. And Bolotniks has landed 2 good hooks. I've seen those 2 good hooks. Wild miss by Buatsi and a jab that is missed by Bolotniks. Buatsi, oh, okay. Jab down the middle of Bolotniks' gloves by Buatsi there, but doesn't look like it had much power behind it. Looks relatively unfazed. Oh, nice right hook by Bolotniks. You know, Bolotniks is finding some real luck with these hooks here, especially the right hook. Nice movement by Bolotniks and another right hook, which I think was partially caught by Buatsi's left glove. Buatsi trying to come forward again and landing a jab. Through a jab, through a left hook, and both missed in terms of Buatsi's shots. And round 1 ends. You know what? To be fair, I give that to Bolotniks. I actually give that to Bolotniks. So I'm going to say 1-0 Bolotniks, to be fair. Like, I mean, tell me if I'm crazy, guys, if you're watching this as well. But I actually think Bolotniks won that round. Like, I wonder what the DAZN commentator... I'm just going to turn the sound up for a second to see what they're actually saying, to see if they also think that or whether they think otherwise. Oh, classically, I've got my sound actually off here, but... well, forget what they say. I'll check later. But there you go. Well, if there's basically showing a slow motion of Bolotniks landing a nice right hook, and that obviously must be what the commentators are talking about. The fact that Bolotniks landed such a nice right hook there. So that is a good right hook. I'm 100% giving that round to Bolotniks. So far, British fans must be slightly worried. But it's early days. It's early days. F says Buatsi needs to jab better and keep his left hand tucked in. All right, second round has started, guys. So jabs again from both of these men. Ooh, nice left hook landed by Buatsi, to be fair. And he's starting to try and throw in uppercuts. He did miss Buatsi with his uppercut there, but he did land with his own left hook. So it looks like Buatsi's coming forward a bit more and starting to be slightly more vicious. Left jab going through the middle of Bolotniks' guard, but he looks completely unfazed. Didn't look like he had much power behind it. 2 men just jostling at each other right now, looking at each other, staring each other down. Left jab thrown by Buatsi, second left jab thrown, both. Another left jab thrown by Buatsi, none of them connected. Another 2 left jabs thrown by Buatsi, none of them connected. So I think he's still maybe trying to find his range. Wow, left hook, left jab thrown, right jab thrown, another left jab thrown by Buatsi. They're all missing. Bolotniks is doing a good job of slipping and sliding, to be honest, and keeping his distance, which is pretty good. But perhaps Buatsi's just, I don't know, trying to find his range. It's a bit confusing. A double left jab thrown by Buatsi, no connection. And Bolotniks doing a very good job of keeping a tight guard here, to be honest. He's really doing a good job of keeping small, tight. All right to the body by Bolotniks, and Buatsi returned it with a left to the body. Uppercut thrown by Buatsi, it missed. Strong left jab thrown by Buatsi, which did connect. Another left jab hits to the gloves. Another left jab through the guard. Double left. Another left by Buatsi that missed. Buatsi's throwing in a bunch of jabs. A lot of them are not finding distance. Nice overhand right by Bolotniks, to be honest, which did connect. Left jab thrown by Bolotniks that missed. They're both just staring each other down. Buatsi using his left hand to try and keep Bolotniks in place while throwing the rights, but it didn't work. Both men got tied up. Referee broke it. Left jab, double left jab thrown by Bolotniks. None of them connected. They're switching back to the jabs now, and both of them are not finding success. Oh, a left hook thrown by Buatsi that did connect, to be fair. And Bolotniks looks relatively unfazed though, but another left hook and a right to the body by Buatsi. Better by Buatsi, to be honest. In this second round, it was better by Buatsi. So I would... It was a close one, but I'll give it to Buatsi. So it's 1-1 on my scorecard. I have to think about the judges as well. And you know, I have a feeling the judges will probably be biased for the British fighter, in my view, no matter where they come from. So I'd say 1-1. I would say 1-1. Both demonstrated some good punches. Looks like Buatsi had slightly more success with his hooks this time around compared to the last time around. Both of them jabbing quite a lot and missing in their jabs. So that's the second round completed, and we're moving on to the third round. All right, so we are starting the third round now. Jabs thrown by each of the men. None of them have landed. Nice left jab by Bolotniks that lands. Attempted left hook by Bolotniks that went wide. Both of the men pecking at each other with jabs and both of them missing. Wow, nice slipping by Buatsi there of Bolotniks' jabs. They both look sharp, to be honest. Ooh, nice left hook by Bolotniks. I think it did connect there, partially, I think, blocked by the gloves. And there's a lot of in and out behavior. Ooh, strong left hook there by Buatsi, which did connect, but Bolotniks does not look phased. But I'm sure the crowd reacted to that. Bolotniks looking very tough, to be honest. It doesn't look like he'll go down very easily. Looking very focused. Both of the men just kind of staring at each other. Oh, nice left hook by Bolotniks there. There's a lot of jabs that are missing in this fight by both men. A lot of them are throwing jabs in and out, coming in and out, nice and fast, and then staring each other down and then darting back in again. A bunch of jabs that missed, nothing to report there. Ooh, a right hook thrown by Bolotniks that just grazes Buatsi's ear. Didn't fully connect. Both staring each other down again. Bolotniks, both of them, to be honest, coming forward at different points. They're both coming across as equally aggressive in this fight. And again, just a jab thrown by Bolotniks, followed by a left hook, which is partially blocked by Buatsi's glove. Ooh, nice short right hand by Bolotniks, which I don't think fully connected, but did graze Buatsi. Or a wild overhand right thrown by Bolotniks that does miss, but a nice right hook to the body thrown by Bolotniks there. Certainly a good test for Buatsi. If anyone thought that Buatsi was going to walk over Bolotniks here, it doesn't seem that way. It looks like Bolotniks is still in the game, still posing a threat, and has not been affected by Buatsi's power thus far. And part of that might be because he hasn't been caught flush yet. That ends round 2. To be fair, that's 2 equal. I can't really give it to anyone, so I'm going to kind of cheat and say 2-2 instead of 1-1. So it's 2-2 on my card now, even though we're not going into the fourth round, we're going into the third round. Even fight, to be honest, so far. And as we discussed earlier with Bogdan and some of you in others in the stream, I do think the longer the fight goes, the more likely Bolotniks is going to be able to potentially take more charge of the fight. We have to think about whether Buatsi's punch power will be able to follow through in the mid to later rounds if he doesn't put Bolotniks away in the next few rounds. And the fourth round, sorry guys, is about to begin. So far, as I said, I've got this fight 2-2. We've got no real activity right now. It's just both the fighters feeling each other out. Or left hook, right hook thrown by Buatsi. Another right hook thrown by Buatsi. Overhand right thrown by Buatsi. All landed, to be fair. They didn't look like they landed that flush, but they definitely connected. Bolotniks is trying his best to kind of cover himself up. He's raised his guard, but he still seems calm. Left to the body by Bolotniks. Right hook attempted by Buatsi, which just grazes him. Yes, I mean, I've got it even, basically. F. Yeah, not much activity. Both of the men just missing there, to be honest. Bolotniks is... yeah, overhand thrown by Buatsi, but missed. Ball right to the body by Bolotniks, which connected. Left thrown by Bolotniks. Bolotniks is slightly seen as the aggressor right now. He is walking Buatsi back, but perhaps Buatsi is trying to set a trap for him. Wild left hook thrown by Bolotniks that missed. Left jab that connected, thrown by Bolotniks. Ooh, a right hook thrown by Buatsi left to the body, and the referee steps in and says that's too low. Asks Bolotniks if he's okay, tells Buatsi please keep it up a bit, and the fight resumes again. Left thrown by, right overhand thrown by Bolotniks. Men just still squaring each other up, and a lot of jabs being thrown that are missing, but again, potential range finders. A right to the body thrown by Bolotniks, which does connect. None of the fighters look particularly scathed right now. They don't look particularly worn out. I don't see any signs of bleeding from any of them. It's getting a nice warm up from these first few rounds. A left and a right hook thrown by Buatsi, and Bolotniks did get shaken a tiny bit, but it ends the round, and Bolotniks taunts Buatsi, jumping up and down while walking in a strange fashion, almost as if to say, that didn't hurt me and I'm doing just fine. So just at the end of that round, we did see some signs of a right and a left hook thrown by Buatsi, which did connect. And he did look a bit vicious there. It did look like he potentially caused some harm to Bolotniks. But when you look at the slow-mo, it was a nice right, to be fair. Wasn't half bad. But it didn't cause that much damage, it seems. It looks like Bolotniks is relatively unscathed, but I guess you've got to give that round to Buatsi because of what he did in the final few seconds. Hello, Thomas. It is round number 5 right now, which is just beginning. And I give it, I'm giving it 3 to Buatsi. and 2 to Bolotniks right now in terms of my scorecard. But yeah, round number 5. I guess what that really means is Buatsi up by 1. Okay, so round number 5 has begun, and again, not very much going on right now. The men just throwing jabs again. Not really connecting, to be fair. Again, a lot of range finding jabs, but before you know, I'm sure they'll start throwing the hooks and the uppercuts and all that. And just as I say that, overhand right thrown by Bolotniks, which I think just brushes against Buatsi. Bolotniks threw a body punch, I believe, and Buatsi's tied him up, which is very confusing. I don't know why he'd tie him up like that in the middle of the ring. You wonder if he's been injured or not. Don't know. No worries, mate. Eldo's asked, Bolotnik, Ruby, nah? Maybe you're asking if Bolotniks is doing well or not. I mean, I think it's Buatsi up by 1 on my personal, completely unprofessional and amateur scorecard. But he's definitely not out of the fight. Oh, nice right hand thrown by Bolotniks there, to be honest. Bolotniks is a nice uppercut thrown by Bolotniks, and a left hook to the body by Bolotniks as well. He's definitely landing some good shots, Bolotniks, but there's always that feeling that Buatsi's about to unload something vicious. But Bolotniks is definitely still in the fight right now. And a left to the body thrown by Buatsi. Bolotniks momentarily on the ropes, but got off them. Nice slipping and sliding by Bolotniks right now. Uppercut and hook thrown by Bolotniks. A right hand thrown by Bolotniks, which missed. And Bolotniks thrown in a few combinations to the body. Nice, straight, strong left jab straight into Buatsi's face thrown by Bolotniks there. And a nice right to the body thrown by Bolotniks. I think Bolotniks is doing a good job so far, to be fair. He might win this round. Oh, a very nice right hook thrown by Bolotniks. And an uppercut, left uppercut thrown by Bolotniks. You know what? I think I'd give Bolotniks a round for that. Unless Buatsi shows me something in the next 5 seconds, I would probably give that round to... Ooh, but Buatsi comes back with a right... overhand right himself, and Bolotniks is loving the atmosphere and jeering the crowd to make some noise at the end of that round number 5. We move on to round 6, and just because I'm not an actual judge, I'm going to say it's even Stevens now on the card in my view. So I would say even fight. Yeah, I mean, I gave them a strange... wait, so isn't it round 6 starting then if it's 3-2? Yeah, I mean, I gave them my own unofficial scores. So I'm now switching it to just saying who I think is up by 1 or 2 or whatever. I think I gave them both like a equal point on one of the rounds because I just wanted to do it my own way. But I'll let you know who I think is winning instead, basically. So anyway, like the vid, peeps, sub to the channel. Yes, thank you, F. If you guys could subscribe and like the video, it'd be much appreciated. Only takes a second, and it makes our day. So thank you very much. Yes, that's right, F. I gave a 10-10 round. I think it was the second round. Anyway, round 6 has begun, guys. Again, not much action right now. Nice left hook thrown by Buatsi there. And right hand thrown by Bolotniks to Buatsi's body. He's done a decent amount of body work, to be fair. Uppercut and a hook thrown by Buatsi, but I think the majority of that was blocked by Bolotniks there. And Bolotniks comes back with his own uppercut and right hook, which again, I don't think connected either. But both these men are looking very tough. And, you know, this is the big boy leagues for Buatsi, 100%, because overhand right thrown by Bolotniks onto the kind of mid to back end of Buatsi's head down his left side. Men coming back to the jabs again. Now, if I'd say who looks more tired, I'd probably think it's Bolotniks right now. But that being said, I haven't seen Buatsi, he hasn't really hurt Bolotniks. And, Buatsi is obviously, he's got such a high knockout percentage that oh shit, and a hook thrown by Buatsi, and Bolotniks goes to the canvas. Just as I was saying that about his power. Now, Bolotniks is back up though. There's 1 minute left in the round, and Buatsi is swarming Bolotniks and throwing a number of hooks. Oh, uppercut, right hook, a left hook. The referee's going to be looking at this very, very closely, and he's swarming Bolotniks right now. And Bolotniks is walking backwards and looking very dazed, but he is throwing back. Bolotniks has got 45 seconds to hold on right now. If he doesn't hold on, then Buatsi may finish him right now in this 6th round. It looks like Bolotniks has kind of gathered himself again, because he's throwing back a bit more. He's doing his best to tie up. He knows what he needs to do in this circumstance. But he must be hurt, because he did go down in the canvas, onto the canvas recently. It looks like both of the men have again established jabs in the middle of the ring. So it looks like Bolotniks is just about recovered. But Buatsi must be very confident about what has just happened right now. It must have given him a lot of confidence to know that he has the ability to knock Bolotniks down. But Bolotniks, I am sure, is going to survive this 6th round. Oh, and comes back with an uppercut and a right hook, to be fair, which was very impressive, especially after what he had received. So that concludes round number 6. I believe we're on. So that was very impressive. But it was a hook that was thrown by, it was a left hook, thrown by Buatsi, which connected to Bolotnik's chin, and Bolotnik fell back. But within a few seconds, he was back up again. It looked really bad for Bolotnik. He was relentlessly chased by Buatsi, and he was taking some damage in the process of that barrage of punches, because Buatsi was obviously trying to finish the fight, but he managed to survive this round. He lives another round, and I have a feeling now that we turn into round 7, that Buatsi may be confident that he can finish this fight. But we'll see. Round 7 has begun. Bolotnik's coming forward, which may suggest that he's recovered, but there's no doubt that knockdown potentially has had some effect. So we'll see. He is coming forwards. Hey Noah, there's 12 rounds, and this is round 7 of 12. He is Bolotniks is coming forward again. So it's almost as if he didn't get knocked down in a way. He's not afraid of the power of Buatsi, it seems, despite the fact that he got knocked down by Buatsi. So a left, nice combination thrown by Bolotniks there. A nice left jab thrown by Bolotniks, which did land. 2 left jabs thrown by Buatsi, which landed as well. Bolotniks trying to throw an uppercut but missing. Bolotniks is coming forwards here, despite the fact that he was knocked down in the prior round. He doesn't seem to have. Oh, nice left hook thrown by Bolotniks. You know what would be absolutely mad if Bolotniks knocked Buatsi down? Then we have a real fight. But I have a feeling Buatsi's gonna have so much more confidence in this round and in the future rounds, because of the fact that he did have the ability to knock Bolotniks down. But let's see. Left hook thrown by Bolotniks, which missed. 1-2 thrown by Buatsi, which missed, blocked by Bolotniks' gloves. Bolotniks jabs Buatsi into the body. throws a nice left hook body shot thrown by Bolotniks. Buatsi starting to come forward now, and the referee stops the. Why has he stopped it? But he hasn't stopped the fight. I think he deducted a point just now. If I have my sound on here, I think the referee deducted a point from.
Or right hook thrown by Bolotniks, who's now recovered because he was given time. And it seems like that was a low blow. And from looking at what the referee was doing, I think the referee docked Buatsi a point for low blow, because I think it's the second time he's done a low blow. Okay, I think you guys can hear me now, potentially. I think you guys can hear me now, potentially. So basically, yeah, can you guys hear me? Just want to double check, and then I'll explain what happened. Yeah, okay, cool. So I believe what happened was that Buatsi potentially was docked a point. F, do confirm if that is the case, if you were watching with sound on, if any of you guys are watching with sound on. But I think Buatsi was docked a point in the round that just finished because of a low blow, because I saw that the referee was giving Bolotniks some time out to recover, which is obviously common if you've received a low blow. Now, Bolotniks being the guy that he is didn't take very much time to recover, but it looks like they docked a point from Buatsi there, and we are just starting round 8 of 12. So I would probably think that Buatsi is up by 1 round at least by this point, notwithstanding the fact that he got docked a point. He did knock out. He did knock down Bolotniks though, and that will obviously count as a knockdown, so it kind of evens out as a result of that. Nice overhand right thrown by Buatsi. Oh, Buatsi coming forward with a number of left and right hooks, swinging relatively wildly. He's not really connecting, but you can see the viciousness in his punches. We've got 2 minutes left of this 8th round. So we're just coming forward now. Bolotniks there with a right hook, which did connect. Haven't seen any. Haven't really seen Buatsi being hurt per se at this stage of the fight, but we are getting into the latter rounds of the fight. Overhand right thrown by Bolotniks, which did connect. Bolotniks is stalking. Oh my! Ooh, okay. Looks like Buatsi was hurt by that, but Bolotniks connected with a left hook that looked very dangerous. But it looks like it didn't phase Buatsi as much as I thought, because it looked like Buatsi was clinching him afterwards. Oh, what I do see though is blood coming out of the nose of Bolotniks right now. But I have seen some good shots thrown by Bolotniks here. He's definitely not out of the fight. It is late rounds of the fight, so Buatsi's not necessarily used to this. He's used to getting rid of his opponents quite early on. What is another? He stopped him again. Another low punch. I've just got the sound on now on DAZN. Oh my god! Another point deduction. Another point deduction from Buatsi for a low blow. Although the commentators on DAZN are saying enough is enough. A point is finally deducted, which might suggest a point wasn't previously deducted in the prior round. But I believe a point was deducted then as well. So in any event, a point's been deducted right now in round 8. as a result of this low blow. It looks like there's a lot of low blows being thrown by Buatsi there. Bolotniks throws a low blow of himself, but referee doesn't step in for for that. Bolotniks is walking him down now. It looks like this is a proper fight right now. Both of the men almost developing bad blood midway into this 8th round with 30 seconds to remain. They're both gesturing at each other, and they're both throwing a good set of nice left and right right hooks to the body thrown by Bolotniks there. He's definitely still in the fight, Bolotniks. Nice uppercut and left hook. Left hook thrown by Bolotniks, blocked by Buatsi's right glove. Buatsi coming forward, throwing a jab. Bolotniks throwing a right hook, which connects to Buatsi's face. Buatsi looks relatively unfazed, however, doesn't look hurt, whereas Bolotniks is bleeding from the nose. We have to remember that he did get a point deduction, Buatsi, for low blows, which is very interesting. He's at least thrown 3 low blows from the times that the referee has stopped the fight for a low blow. So you'd expect that this is a you'd expect that you get Dr. Point at some point, wouldn't he? Noah says, I need Bolotniks to win by decision, mate. All right. Have you got a bet on it? No, I hope the bet goes well. I mean, I think with the number of rounds we've got left, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to go down to the wire, but it looks like Buatsi's potentially on winning on points here, despite the deduction. We're into round 9. F says Amir Khan would not like those low blows. No, he wouldn't be able to take. Any of this, to be fair. Bogdan, now is the time. Eldars, Bolotnik, you need to do it. We've got nice to see the variety in support here. Yeah, guys, please do remember to like the video and subscribe if you can. We're in round 9 right now. Nothing to report at this stage. Men are coming forwards. Just left hook thrown by Bolotniks. Right hook. Left hook connected by Buatsi there, but nice body shot thrown by Bolotniks. Nice right body shot thrown by Bolotniks as well. He's doing some good body work, to be fair, Bolotniks. Looks like they've managed to stop that bleeding from Bolotniks' nose as well. It's quite an even Stevens fight for the most part. I think, especially given the docking of points from Buatsi. Nice right hook thrown by Bolotniks. No doubt, this is Buatsi's hardest fight he's had. Bolotniks is not disappearing. He's thrown a number of combinations there. Unfortunately, all of them missed. Thrown by Bolotniks. Unfortunate for him. A lot of energy spent there. But Bolotniks should be used to having these long rounds, especially given his fight record. Buatsi, on the other hand, you have to wonder, is the gas running out of the tank? What's happening? Bolotnik coming back. And Buatsi pushing Bolotnik into a corner. As Bogdan said, deep waters. Well, we've got a few rounds left. We're in the 9th round, and it's certainly looking like an even fight in many respects. Nice left hook thrown by Bolotniks there. A few jabs from Buatsi, and nice 1-2 thrown by Bolotniks. Bolotniks still has agility to slip and slide these punches thrown by Buatsi, although he does take a jab straight down the middle of his guard. And Buatsi is trying his best to manipulate that nose of Bolotniks, because his nose was bleeding earlier. They did manage to stop the bleeding, but it looks like he's trying to reopen. Strong jab thrown by Buatsi straight down the middle, right into his nose, and a left hook thrown as well by Buatsi, and a right overhand right, and another overhand right to end the round. It's good work, to be honest, shown by Buatsi. have to admit, especially in the latter rounds, I'd probably give that to Buatsi. So on my unofficial scorecard, I would think that Buatsi's probably 2 rounds up. There was good work shown by both of them, but I think that last 20 seconds, Buatsi was showing a lot of good work, and I think the judges will probably see that. But I've gained a lot of respect for Bolotniks over this fight. He's certainly a very tough opponent. He can definitely take it. F says, with 1 point deducted, Buatsi's probably 1 round up now, I guess. Yeah, I'd probably think Buatsi's 1 or 2 rounds up, I would suggest. We've got a lot of Bolotniks fans in the crowd. And guys, we are heading into round number 10. So round number 10 has begun. And Bolotniks is coming forward with a left and a right. Bolotniks throwing a low blow of himself. Referee telling him keep your punches up, but no points deducted in this circumstance. Bolotniks is definitely looking like the aggressor of the two. He's not afraid to come forward. He's being pushed back right now though by Buatsi. Oh, very nice 1-2 thrown by Bolotniks, to be fair. But Buatsi comes back with his own right underneath each of their respective guards. Oh, nice overhand right thrown by Buatsi. And you've got, and a right and a left and a right hook thrown by Buatsi. And he's connecting quite a lot of his punches now. Bolotniks shakes his head at Buatsi as if to say, that didn't hurt me, and sticks his tongue out. Buatsi is an absolute warrior in this 10th round, 1 minute 40 seconds remaining. However, he has developed a cut on his left cheek, Bolotniks now. So not only does he have a cut on his nose, and that his nose is bleeding, but he also has a cut on his cheek. Unless that was the blood from his nose that was smeared by Buatsi. A nice right hook thrown by Buatsi there. Bolotniks coming back with his own. Buatsi walking Bolotniks down currently, and he is coming forward and throws a nice right hook, but Bolotniks comes back with his own hooks and an uppercut and a left to the body by Bolotniks. And Buatsi walking Bolotniks down again. 50 seconds left of this 10th round. You can see that there has been damage taken by Bolotniks from his cuts. But he certainly doesn't, at this stage, look like he's going to be knocked out. He's certainly still in the fight, but I have a feeling he's probably losing this round. It's 30 seconds left, and there's only 2 rounds remaining of this fight after the end of this round. Buatsi just standing his ground. A right thrown by Bolotniks. Buatsi coming back with his own, but being blocked. And you can potentially see some fatigue in Bolotniks at this stage. But Buatsi, he looks tired himself. He is breathing heavy, but he doesn't necessarily look as fatigued as we end that 10th round as Bolotniks, who has taken a decent amount of damage, primarily as a result of the bleeding to his nose and the cut to his cheek, which you can clearly see he's taken damage, and judges are going to see that. So that might give them some supporting evidence to give that round to Buatsi. In which case, on my unofficial amateur scorecard, I think personally that Buatsi has won this fight. If he doesn't get knocked out for the next 2 rounds on points, but judges have it their own way. It has been a very close fight. Some of these rounds could have actually gone to Bolotniks. But given where they're fighting, and you know what judges are like, you do wonder whether they're giving more rounds to Buatsi than even me. And I've only got Buatsi 3 rounds up, so in terms of like three points up. And 11th round has begun. Bogdan, equal fight. Joshua will have a victory for sure. That's everywhere like that. So the points will not be on the side of Bolotniks. Yeah. I just have a feeling Buatsi's doing just a bit more work, and he's coming up with the more showy punches, and you could see the damage that he's caused to Bolotniks. And Bolotniks obviously fell onto the canvas in one of the rounds. So you would think that Buatsi is going to win this fight, but we've got 2 minutes left of the 11th round. Anything can happen in boxing. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Vicious combination thrown by Bolotniks, but unfortunately it doesn't connect for him, and he's met with a jab he's met with a left hook by Buatsi, but it doesn't connect either. Just brushes against him. Buatsi coming forward now. Lands quite a strong left hook there, but it was eaten by Bolotniks. Following up with a right hook, another right hook by Buatsi, and a right to the body. And Bolotniks is smiling and walking back and coming back with his own. But you have a feeling that Bolotniks is not going to go down in this fight, but he's not going to necessarily win on points either. Oh, and a right hook, and Bolotniks is on the floor, and the referee calls off the fight in the 11th round. TKO knockout by Joshua Buatsi. And it just as quickly as he knocked him down, as quickly as that, the referee called off the fight. Joshua Buatsi wins by TKO in the 11th round in this main fight of Buatsi Bolotniks. Guys, there you have it. It's the 11th round TKO. Wow. I don't know whether that's I kind of don't know whether that's well, I was about to say I don't know whether that's a justified decision by the referee, but as I say that, it looks like Bolotniks is still on the floor. So it looks like it was a clear and easy decision by the referee, because if Bolotniks is still on the floor, then you would think that he's actually genuinely properly hurt. So I mean, well done to him. I mean, yeah, is it an early call or right call by the referee? What do you guys think? But I just think Norris Bogdan, man, it's been really good having you on. And sorry about your man Bolotniks. I think he did a fantastic job, and he's back up on his feet now. I think he proved an incredibly tough opponent, and it looks like Buatsi thinks so as well, because you see Buatsi right now lifting Bolotniks' hand and patting him on the back and taking him around the center of the ring so that the crowd can cheer him on. But it looks like Buatsi had the power, even in the 11th round, to knock out, at least TKO, Bolotniks. And for those of you wondering, it was a right. It was a straight right. It was a straight right that knocked him out. Straight right to the chin, and that was enough to knock out Bolotniks there. And the referee immediately called off the fight as Bolotniks fell to the ground. So Buatsi, Obviously, a very good fighter, because Bolotniks was a true test for Buatsi. He's a really tough fighter, and Buatsi managed to knock him out in the 11th round. So there you go, Joshua Buatsi, boy from Croydon, man from the hometown. He wins this eliminator for the WBA light heavyweight championship of the world. Some of the stats: 278 landed by Buatsi, 171 by Bolotniks, 754 thrown by Buatsi, around 600 ish for Bolotniks. 27%, 54% landed by Buatsi, 37% landed by Bolotniks. So it looks like Bolotniks threw more, but Buatsi landed more generally. Thank you very much, Bogdan. Look forward to seeing you on the next stream, my friend. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This basically concludes the live stream. The winner is Joshua Buatsi, 11th round TKO. Referee called off the fight after Buatsi landed quite a strong straight right to Bolotniks, which put Bolotniks onto the canvas. And the winner is Joshua Buatsi. We will be back for the Pacquiao fight when that happens. It may not be with the guy that we wanted him to fight, but we will watch the Pac-Man anyway, because he is the Pac-Man. And it would be nice to watch a Pacquiao fight, wouldn't it? So there you go, and you still see even now, guys, as I'm watching this, Buatsi's really bigging up Bolotniks right now. And he has so much respect for Bolotniks, despite the fact that he refused to give him a fist bump ahead of the fight. He obviously has a lot of respect for him now, because he's showing Bolotniks a lot of respect. So well done to Joshua Buatsi. It'll be interesting to see what his next challenge is. Bolotniks, this means that he'll have this is his 6th loss, but he I'm sure will still do a great job of continuing his professional boxing career. He's obviously a very tough fighter, and I think he would cause a lot of light heavyweights trouble, even if he was to be put forward in fights as a true tester of fighters' abilities. If that is the case, then it's because of the fact that Bolotniks is such a good fighter, so as to test other fighters. Thank you very much, Asta. I really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this evening, guys. Hope you also enjoyed these fights. We will be back, I promise you, for further boxing live streams. We will be commenting future fights. Just so you guys know, in case you're tuning in right now, just to check what the result was: Joshua Buatsi wins by TKO in round number 11. So yeah, we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you very much, all of you, and grateful if you could sub and like the video. And we'll see you later. Take care and peace out. Stay safe.